Alright, we're going to go ahead and pick back up on this deal, this tragedy, this heartbreaker. And we're going to still turn it into something. I was pretty upset when I broke it. Had to give myself a week or two to get over it. No, I've just been really busy. It's gardening season, and so I've been really busy dealing with all that. So I guess we're just going to work on the back side here. I think I'm still going to shoot for a knife. I think we're just going to, I'm going to bring this in some and bring this in some, and we're going to shoot for a pretty good blade in there. But we've got to work this square edge now, so. I've gotten so dependent on my indirect percussion that I've actually gotten very out of skill with my bopper. So it's time to start honing that back in. Before I got good with my indirect, I used to actually do, before I ever started doing videos or anything, I used to actually do a lot larger portion of all of my blades with direct percussion. But I have long since gotten used to these. Because you can do a lot with them. You really can do a lot with them. But it's good to be able to do a lot with a bopper too. Run up this ridge if I can here. Just trying to thin this so I can go back to zigzagging. But I think I really need to get back into upping my skill with this again. See, right now I just want to go right back to grabbing my indirect percussion because I know I can do all of this with it. Accurately and well. But I need to get back into running more with it's faster. You can beat a lot faster with the bopper. And it can really move some material when you want it to. Hold on. It's making me want to run for my indirect percussion stick. It's making me want to run back to comfort. But that's not why we're here. We're here for learning, and I think that's pretty much kind of where I want to be. So honestly, I think a lot of that's going to be coming off, but I still kind of gotta turn back on this, and I'm really struggling to not want to get my indirect here, honestly, because I don't want to lose much more length. We'll do it on a different piece. We'll get back into practice on something else. I've already messed this one up enough. So. And it just does such a wonderful job. And that's why we make new tools, isn't it? I mean, that's why I don't use antler. That's why I use copper, right? Because I enjoy doing this. But we have better, newer ways of doing it. I have a little bit of antler. I do want to start getting back into messing with it too. Because I like that aspect of it as well, but I'm also a perfectionist, and I just like to do good jobs on things that I do, I guess. And what better way to do a good job on something than to use the best tool possible. But I also love a challenge, so, you know. Guess it just depends on which aspect of which thing I want to do on which day. But right now, I just want to do a really good job on this blade, considering I already broke it, not in half, but, you know, we'll say snap it in half. For lack of better terminology, because I mean, I did break it in 2 pieces. But thank the Lord it wasn't into, like directly in half, where it would be significantly less usable. There we go, that got that kind of shaped right back up. Really kind of where I want it to be. There we go. Nice. Okay, so I think, man, or this could end up really being a super cool arrowhead, honestly. However, either way, I've got to work a bunch of this off here. I see it essentially sucks because there's so much going to come off of that. But that's kind of what I see happening, is this long, slender blade that we'll use for something. But and that was kind of the harsher, the stuff, kind of the harsher, grittier material that I just took off on the back there. So got some of it in here, but it's doing well. We got one bad hinge right there, but either way, we are off to the races. Okay. All right. I think I just kind of got to myself last time, sketched myself out a little bit. I think we all do that at times, get in our own head with stuff and kind of make mistakes. It's not always our fault. Sometimes it's just the way the material plays out. But here we are, back to redeem this piece of material. I'm just evaluating because I've got that hinge right there, but I think I can run this ridge beside it. kind of need to. Don't know if it's wise though. Let's see. Just take my time. Probably going to come back this way and just start working back to it. Okay, I definitely got a good ridge to run here. Nice. That's a pretty good job right there. I'm not running long flakes here. These are just kind of cleaning up flakes, and they'll just help me to see what I got. It's getting rid of the thin edge to kind of reveal what the stone has left. You can see I need to kind of make a big long flake here to really push in to either underneath of this old hinge or at least clearing out to it. We'll see what happens here. Cleared right up under it. That's not bad. I can catch it on this ridge from back here now. So I need to come in from the side here, try to sneak around this hinge again, and maybe reach up and around it and fade everything out here would be lovely. And I'm going to kind of shoot, instead of shooting directly in on this platform, I'm going to kind of shoot to the side here, and hopefully it takes that path there. It's got convexity to it, so there we go. I just wasn't afraid to hit it. I just waylaid it, and it shot all the way up in here, leaving us pretty good. Like I said, we can come back on this platform back here and just waylay that, and I think we can feather all that out. Go lay down. Go lay down. My dogs. Go lay down. You're gonna end up with one of these in your eye, man. Go lay down. I think he's scared because of the thunder. There's thunder and lightning. But I'm not comfortable with him just chilling right there. I don't want him to end up with a flake in his eye. Okay, so I've got a huge ridge right here, and runs all the way up into this kind of choppy, messed up area. So, but I don't really trust that platform, so I'm gonna, it's kind of thick, really thicker than I want it to be, and it's not really funneled into the ridge there, so I'm gonna trim some of this back this other way just lightly. Bunch of little short flakes and try to get it to okay, I think I'm comfortable with it. There we go. Shot up right through it, past all of it. fanned out nice, feathered in there. Just removed a little bit of material there. I'm going to braid back against it, and I think I've lined up another decent ridge right off that one. So we'll just follow that one back now. It didn't do as good as I had hoped. Again, I'm just going to kind of follow suit with that same pattern. Coming from this way. Looks like I lined up. So basically between this flake and this flake, I've got all this material that I need to kind of thin out the same. And now I've just got one long, low-lying platform there. The convexity's not all there though, so I'm going to really turn my angle up on this. Not doing quite like I want. Braid against it. I braid back against it. See if that gives us the convexity. Not really. I'm going to come back here and hit this ridge. That did alright. Think I can get one here. There we go. That shot all the way to here. Think I can do it again. There we go. It's a lighter hit here. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I'm going to try to go this side of it. It's kind of a messed up deal here. See if I can do a isolation flake there. Looks like it did it. Okay, let's just see how it goes. Kind of run this ridge now. Yeah. I'm going to hit in this low spot and run this ridge now. Looks pretty well for what it is. Need to take off some just short convexity flakes here, and it's helping to turn the edge back that way. So because we've kind of flattened that side out. There we go. We didn't need much. Looks like it's coming into shape now. Yeah, we didn't need much. Let's kind of see what we've got here now. We can kind of start whittling this side here. I think I'm going to start here. This is technically the lowest spot. This is all pretty thin. There we go. We're going this little platform here. There we go. That was nice. Fanned out well. Alright, kind of did a little isolation flake over there, and now I'm going to try to drive this one through. There we go, look at it. All the way up to the other side of the blade. That really fanned out, really thinned it pretty nicely. See if we can maybe land another one right there next to it. Okay, it's looking good. There we go, all up in there. All right, let's. I think I've got the convexity here. I'm gonna run right up through here. Try to bite off a chunk with this one too. Yeah. Getting thin. Alright, let's do a little cleanup here. Kind of see where I'm at. Just got a little bit more down here, so we need to kind of shift gears. Just doing some cleanup, some real short flakes. Drawing me in closer to this hinge right here. Changing the angle, turning the edge. A lot of things happening right here. Okay, so that has shoved the edge far that way. It's got me below center line over here. I've got good convexity. I've got good platforms. I think what I'm going to do is start off to the side of the hinge over here and kind of see what happens. I don't think I'm going to put a lot of pressure on this one. I mean, I'm going to hit it good, but I don't think I'm going to just waylay it with all I got by any means. What happened here? So it didn't get under that hinge like I wanted, but it did beautifully. It did a lot. I think I'll try to hit it again. It looks like it might release underneath of that hinge. Did pretty decent. It got half of it. Still got just the smallest portion of that dude kind of hanging in there. See if I can trim back this way a little bit. Kind of gonna just do some bouncing around and some jumping around now while I try to start straightening up a few things. Okay, I'm going to try to run up into here and knock out that ugliness right there. And then I'm going to try to really switch right back and hit the other side. Okay, try to undercut all that nasty right there. I think this will do it. Got right under it and thin that right out. And nice. Just taking some little trimmings here, trying to prepare a platform, and it blew off a bunch of trash on the other side that we didn't want there, so. This doesn't need to be massive. Okay, looks like we've kind of prepared ourselves to turn back now. got some pretty good convexity here, so, but we're also shooting into a small step fracture here. I think we've got it though. I think if we tilt our angle enough, yeah. Couple little isolation flakes right here for this next platform. So braid it pretty well. Alright, and it's got a pretty good hump right there. Great convexity, and it looks like a really good platform. So we're going to try to get a chunk off of there. Nice. A little bit of isolation flake here. Right on down and blast another one right down this ridge. Try to thin it out into that middle area if we can. Yep, beautiful. Ran right up in there. Man, we've got a lot of belly over here, but I think we needed to hit that from this side. Sometimes you just kind of got to clean up your thin edges and move in a little bit to kind of see what you got. I think I wasn't doing a good job of that earlier, and on the last video with this blade, and it cost me. It cost me, but it gave to me. It gave to me a lesson. Alright. I'm not going to hit that. I'm going to hit it, but I'm going to just take some small convexity flakes again. See, I think I've got one going this way now. Doesn't have the greatest convexity, but I think if I turn up the angle, looks like we've got a couple more just sitting here too. Start here. Yeah, that was good. Work our way into them. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna try to long haul this one. There we go, all the way to center point. There we go, all the way up to the center point there. I don't like that. What do we got going on here? Okay, I'm gonna go for this hump right here. I think that gave me the convexity and everything that we needed. And then I need to examine my piece again and kind of see. It's a long shot, man. But I really don't have it from either side. Maybe I'll come back to it. Okay, let's trim up on my end. Got me a nasty in there. I done did. Let's blaze down that. Let's get this all lined out here. Alright, I'm gonna, right where I just made that hinge, that step fracture, I'm gonna run down this ridge, try to clip that dude. Got it. Another little isolation flake. Stiffen up the platform. We'll run another one right there next to it on the ridge that it provided. There we go. Ran all the way up to the center point. Do the same thing. Trim it up. Alright, let's try to clean up that stuff. I'm trying for a long, long flake here. Yep. Okay, so now I'm in a place here where I need to I'm going to try to run this and maybe flatten out with this other flake back here off this little platform right there. I couldn't have asked that to be any better. It's exactly what we wanted. Scooted across the whole blade, thinned it out. That was beautiful. Exactly what I wanted. Got one more there. I think this is going to kind of serve as an isolation flake, but it's too steep. Don't want to abrade too much because this was essentially just an isolation flake. It helped thin it out and kind of preparing us for this next. Alright, let's see. Don't want to get too much thinner on this side, honestly. Alright, some more little isolation flakes here. Move this platform back over to this ridge. It's vital that your platform lines up well with your ridge. And this is what we're wanting to shoot off of there. And that's the platform. So hopefully I've been in the camera. Sorry, this is kind of a new way for me. This is a little above center line. But I'm just going to turn the angle a little bit, and we're going to try to yes sir. See, I think I can isolate and probably get one more right here down this ridge. I don't know, that looks awfully thick here, maybe from this little spot. Yeah, there we go. That's thinning up nicely. Still got this. Got some thickness right there that we want to go away. Alright, sorry about that. I'll come back here. I was working my way into that there. Man, it's really eating into that. I don't like it, but there's not much. If I want to get it, I'm going to have to get in there and get it. And it is what it is. I think I'll get it. I had to go way, way, way in there to get it. There it is. Shoot one right off of here. Okay. Oh, man. Alright. We'll run this flake back here. We'll take advantage of my goop up there. This is awfully flat, so we're going to have to be very mindful of our angle and run with it. It did alright. Still got one last thickness there, but looks like I still got to deal with that hinge. It's alright, let's just. Almost got into it right there. Wouldn't hurt my feelings none. There we go. That ran all the way. That helped kind of set the tone, really, to keep going in there. One thing it did for sure, it should help give me what I need to start. Ooh, that was nasty. Don't want to start doing that. I installed a nasty little hinge right there. Let's try to handle it from here. That got a chunk of it. It's alright, we'll get that out. No worries. Just kind of trying to catch up here on this edge from where I goofed it up earlier, so. So far it's working out pretty well. Better start trying to leave some of that for pressure now. I think we're getting to the... It's getting pretty sharp and it's getting pretty blade-like. I think I want to try to come in here. I got quite a bit happening right here. That was nasty. I don't need to start making new problems. Dang it. I'm supposed to be clearing up all the old problems here. Supposed to be clearing up old problems. Not creating new ones. And I think really the last bit of what I've got going on is just right through here. Last bit of thickness really. See if we can just keep it rolling right here. Nice. I mean, unfortunately, you just can't do this without a little bit of a gamble either way. Everything's a little bit of a gamble. Nice. Okay, I've got to come on. That should have dove in on me a little bit right there at the end. Well, I just have to deal with that one. Or catch it from the back, maybe. We'll see. Sometimes setting your platform manually is the best option. There we go. So that lined me up with that ridge there to come up in this thick, nasty spot. And I think that's got me lined up pretty well to hopefully get underneath of it. Got under a good portion of it. See if I can maybe work back to it here. Ouch. I thought I turned the angle enough, but Come on. Put a hinge in that dude. This is the hard part that I always get to, where it's really difficult to get these last big humps out. Maybe. There we go. It's exactly what I needed on that side to truly thin it out. Well, and it just gets hard. When you start getting down and it starts getting thinner, the thinner it gets, the harder the success of these flakes are. So now maybe I can get underneath this daggum mess I set up for myself here earlier. I did, look. It cut over there. It didn't quite get all of it, but it did. Okay, I think one last run through here, and then we're going to switch to pressure. And that went back to, that doing it manually sometimes is kind of a better way for me to set a platform sometimes. So it's got this last bit of thickness through here, so we're going to kind of work our way up to it. Alright, a couple of isolation flakes here. Couple more. Alright. That's a braid. Alright, I think that's gonna kind of be the thing. Couple more. All right. Probably start with copper. Whoa. think these should probably be indirect here. It's kind of a thicker mass right there, and we're kind of all lined up, and we got really good platforms set for it. So here we go, all the way 3/4 of the way across the piece there. So I don't think I ever actually tightened that. Woohoo! Sorry that I got all quiet. This is kind of the point where it gets really involved and let's see. It's really sharp. Just kind of envisioning how I'm going to mount this dude. It's not the knife I was going for, but hey, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's got some uglies in it here and there, that's for sure. I definitely did a few goofs in this thing. But no blade's perfect, that's for sure. I don't want to get my bunch of metal scrapings on it. That's cool, I like those little dots in there. That's pretty nice. I bet that dude's, yeah, it's sharp. It's already cutting the leather. Right, see, I've got to see if I can get my file. Let's get it really sharp. The sharper this is, the sharper I can make that. Okay. Not fully sure how I want to mount it specifically just yet. sharp. All right. Like I said, I'm not fully sure how I'm going to haft it yet. So I'll probably do a hafting video and mount this dude on video so everybody can see. But there it is. We have redeemed this blade. You know, I don't know, something. We'll see. Something like that. Well, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed stopping by to thankfully this time not break a blade. I'll post the other video of the epic fail of that point, and then we'll post, because I'm wanting to start getting in, you know, the wins and the losses. I mean, it's hard for y'all to learn too along with me if all I ever try to post is perfection. And we don't take the time or the hit to, you know, look at the goofs, man, at the mess ups. And honestly, we learn nice just as much from the mess ups as we do the wins, right? So I'm having a hard time getting my hand. It's a weird, or maybe I can break my finger like that. Wish I could just get that one. Oh. Well, there we go. My dog's getting upset with me. He wants to go to the bathroom, so